Hey guys, how is everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Hope you have had a good morning and early afternoon. Come on in. I am Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I'm in an event today with Grace Creations and also shared into their sister group, which is Inspired by Grace. If you are not part of those particular groups, there's a link at the top for Grace Creations, and I can get you a link for, I meant to put Inspired by Grace up there too. It wasn't in the description. But anyway, I am going to make coasters today, so I'm going to wait for 3 o'clock when I get started. Hey Sherry, I loved what you did. I was so impressed. Good job. You look like a professional, like you've been doing it for years. And I've seen a lot of people do the junk journaling, and when you were doing it, I thought, I do not need one more reason to save something, and it's even smaller than what I'm saving now. So thanks, Sherry. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Welcome to my page. I am Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and we're going to wait for just a few people to come on in here. Melanie did a great job. Love her bunny that she did. All of the crafters who are crafting today, you can find them in Grace Creations. Hey, Roddy, how are you? Come on in. You can find all of the replays. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Love that jewelry box that you did. Great job. Everybody's doing such a wonderful job. Anyway, if you're not following my page, I appreciate it if you follow my page, but also follow Grace Creations and Inspired by Grace. Take a look. Hey, Linda, come on in. Hey, Teresa, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you, Roddy. Thank you. So, if you see anyone in the comments that has the word follow beside them, hit the follow button and follow them. That helps all of the crafters. Great job, Melanie. Cute bunny. I was kind of laughing when you were doing the okay, so let me back up for those of you that are just hopping on. The theme for today is evergreen, and usually, regardless of how much it stretches me, I go for the, hey, Leslie, come on in. I've got to go back and watch your replay. I had to hop off for a little bit. But usually I like the themes of the events because it always stretches me. And I wasn't feeling the evergreen, so for me it's crafter's choice. But then Sherry, our host, she explained that evergreen is just something that you can use all year round. So I thought, well, that what my plan for what I had planned to make today, you can use all year round. So we are going to work with some coasters. You can use them all year round, so it's evergreen, but it doesn't have any evergreen leaves in them. And then this is a book that I got. It's called Cut and Collage Little Friends. And anyway, I cut some of these. Look at this, y'all. Aren't these so adorable? You can see where I cut. There's like little boys and little girls. These are little girls. I'll show you some of the things in here. I got this off of Amazon. And then there's some little boys, there's some little girls, there's some more little boys. Kind of like whimsical children, which is really cute. This little girl, they're pretty adorable. And then we have some of these here. I thought I'd show y'all some of these in case you're interested in something like this. I know, aren't they adorable? And then I got some more little boys. And I was going to try and do a spring, fall, summer, spring and summer. But Then I went with blonde hair, red hair, and brunette hair. There's some more. Just a lot of really adorable, and they're all children. They're all children, all little girls and boys, and of different races and everything else. So the ones that I picked out are this little guy here. Whoops. I'm hoping that back of this, this is what's on the back of it, and I'm really hoping, hey, Barbara, come on in. I'm really hoping that this back stuff doesn't show up, but this is one guy. That guy's got blonde hair. This guy is kind of a dark brown, and he has shorts on, so he's a summer fella. Hey, Linda. This guy is a redhead. Now, why did I choose little boys? Because I have, of course, my boys are adult men, grown men now, but I have 2 boys. And so I got this guy with the red hair. He kind of reminds me of something off a Toy Story with the vest and everything. And then I thought that, it looks like I picked, okay, so I've got 2 long pants and 2 shorts. And then this guy is in a hood. So he's going to be kind of our winter guy. So I was kind of going after, hey, Karen, I was kind of going after the theme of, different colors, hair, and a couple of different kinds of outfits. So let's see where this is going to take us. Before I get started, I want to remind y'all that when I am done, there is somebody following me. Linda by Paralyn Creations by Linda is going to be following me. So you'll want to make sure and refresh your page and watch those behind you. Now, if you see the red live button, you know the drill. That means that I'm live. If you don't see the red live button and it's grayed out, then that means that you're watching the replay, and you can go back and you can go, kind of scrub through it however you want. That's kind of like what I like to do a lot of times, is scrub and see, instead of having to wait for the whole thing. So, I mean, there are some advantages to watching replays and watching lives. But when you do come on the live, it helps us as crafters, because the interaction that goes on between those of you watching and me and everybody else in between, it just makes it a lot more fun. I'm a former public school teacher, and there is a big, my shoulder. There's a big difference between, what happened? Being able to have people in the physical room and having them online and y'all commenting and everything really makes a big difference for the person who's presenting. Okay, I think, I say this all the time, and I do not have a backup, so that I usually have something that I can whip out, but we're going to see how this is going to go, and I'm going to use Mod Podge as my medium, my decoupage medium, and I'm going to I need a spray bottle. I'm going to take some of this off of here. I don't need all of this extra paper on here, so I'm going to just kind of go around. Oh, not that one. Let's see, which one has water in it? This one does. So, Karen, these are the paint pens that Paint Pixie, the watercolor, not watercolor, the water pens that Paint Pixie sells. They had them on sale. And they have all kinds of different brush types. So if y'all are in for, I think it's like, I got like 6 of them. And there's one in here that has like a really, really big brush in it, which I thought was pretty cool. But it's all a big variety of, and then this is the next size down. So there's a big variety of brush sizes, which I had never seen before. I have a brush from a water pen from Dollar Tree, but I had never seen all the different water pen brush types. So I thought, well, let's give this a try. I have some ink by Dr. Martens that I want to try, and I saw somebody put the ink in the water pens. So I want to give that a try. But this one is just kind of a skinny brush. I needed something that I could just get close to. And it actually works better than the Dollar Tree. I mean, I didn't think it would be that different, but it is. So Paint Pixie. And there is a Magnolia on Madison Creations is an affiliate with her, so you can contact her if you want to get anything from Paint Pixie. Then she will benefit from that. And she's really good about keeping you up on what's on sale and things like that. So, all right, so here we go. Just kind of getting a little bit of this excess paper off of here because I don't need all of this. I want to make sure I keep his hand because he's waving. Got to have the wave. And all right, so here we go, y'all. I'm going to just do straight up, simple. All right, this looks like it can still come down a little bit. Simple. I think I'm going to bring his shoes down just a little bit so that we can get his head in here. All right, I am going to be using dishwasher safe Mod Podge because I'm gonna when I get ready to go on top of this, when I seal it, I'm gonna seal it with the dishwasher safe. You're welcome, Karen. You want to use the dishwasher safe so that, you know, when people put their drinks on things, all right, here we go, y'all. Just simple technique, nothing fancy. Putting Mod Podge on here, and I'm putting Mod Podge all over the entire surface so that if I wax it or decide to do something else, it'll the whole top surface has the same. All right, here we go, y'all. Same texture, and it'll receive anything. The same all over. All right, and I kind of got his shoe. Well, it's down now. It's not going anywhere. All right, so let me go over this. I'm going to go over this and just kind of make sure that we get him good and covered. And it looks like I've got a little bit of overhang, so I am going to sand that off. I thought I was going to just get away with this. And then the other thing that I want to do is I'm going to make these kinds of, yeah, there you go. I want to make this kind of whimsical. So let me get my sander out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint some stripes on the side. So we'll see where that goes. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side, and then we're going to do the next guy. And like I said, this is just dishwasher safe. The coasters are from Chalk Couture. I am a designer for Chalk Couture. But here we go. I'm just going to take and put the dishwasher safe on here. This is our little redhead guy. This is the first time that I have worked with these. This is not, what do you call it? Rice paper. It's not mulberry paper. It's really kind of thick, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but there's only one way to figure it out, and that's to try it and see where we go with it. I do feel like I need to put something. I don't know if I want to crackle this. I may put a crackle on top of this and see where that goes. All right, so this is what we got. So these are going to be our little, this is one guy. This is the other guy. I thought they were cute. The girls are really cute too, and I thought about doing the girls, and I thought, no, the girls always seem to take the stage with stuff like this, so I wanted to do something different. So here we are. Like I said, I've got 2 grown men now for sons, so they're not little like this anymore. Sure do miss those days, don't y'all? I mean, every age is fun. But it is fun when they're little and they're with you all the time. All right, and then I'm going to come over and do this on top. And it seems to be going on here pretty well. Show you this guy in a minute. Trying to get it good and saturated so that the paper will soften up and fit on here. Now I could go over this with like a, all right, here we go. This is the third guy. So this is my evergreen. This is what you can use all year round. Hey Kathy, good to see you. Kathy is going to be on, y'all, at 8 o'clock. You're going to want to make sure that you continue down the line and catch all the crafters that are coming up next. Like I said, Pearl and Creations by Linda. Linda is going to come up after me. And then Kathy is going to be on at 8. She just popped on. And I'll say hi to Kathy. All right, so here we go. This little guy here. I'm feeling like we're going to need something like a wax or something to put on top of this because the color is so different. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Here's number 4. These are going to be cute, cute, cute. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dry these. And then I want to put some, yes, they are coasters. They are gonna be, and they are coasters. That's what I'm using. That's my evergreen, is something that you can use all year round, and you can use coasters. I couldn't think of, my mind is in spring, y'all. My mind is over the winter, and we're starting to have warmer days. I say warmer days. I think we had a high of like 58 today, which is better than the teens that we've had. Aren't they so cute? I know, I think they're adorable. I like things that make me smile, and these guys made me smile. This guy's kind of looking up at you like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Really cute. I thought it'd be something different. You know, we have flowers and spring and all of that, and these little guys are going from snow gear to a hoodie, and some of them are in shorts. I thought it'd be fun. All right, let me stop that and see what we got. How we doing on, I may end up stopping early. Oh, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? I mean, I would always be able to do something else. All right, so I want to get I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just kind of let these sit for a while. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to put that pen back. I'm going to get a little tray, put some paint in it, and I'm going to go around the edges and just kind of whimsical this up a little bit. And I'm going to use Deco Art Americana. I'm going to use a gloss 60/60. I know, you know, it's like the temperature is so relative. You know, when, oh boy, what is with that? I don't know that I like the way that came out. Hold on, y'all. If you're coming from the 90s and it goes to 60 degrees, it's freezing. But if you're coming from, I'm not sure, that was like really, really thick. And hold on a minute. Let's see if I can do that again. That's better. I think I'll use that pile. All right, so I'm going to get a piece of cardboard. Y'all know me and my cardboard so that I can offload. And I want to go ahead and I'm going to take this off of here. Kind of level that out. Okay. See what we got? All right. So now we're going to take this, and this is probably going to be the most time consuming of everything. I'm going to offload here. And I am going to just go around the edges of this. I'm not even going to draw or anything. I'm just going to add this on here. Let's see if I can. Oh, that's making me shake that way. It's better if I do it this way. Okay, so all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of more whimsical to this. Just sticking my brush right up to the top and then coming on around down, and I'm not going around the back. I got to make sure that I don't touch it where I've already painted it. And then I'm going to come back with with some gold and put some gold on here too. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oops, that one's a little crooked. I got to make sure that I do not touch those that are already done. Just, just a little something to add to what's on here. Let me make sure my finger's dry. And it's all just a matter of practice. This one is a little bit more interesting because I'm having to do it in the air. And you can adjust it as you go along, okay? All right, so I'm going to put this one off to the side. And we're going to do the next one. How we doing? Y'all, I'm going to be ahead of schedule. How about that? All right, here we go. I'm going to start. They're going to be similar. They're not going to be identical. And I'm just kind of skipping a space about the width of the paintbrush. So I have to tell y'all a story. You see this pumpkin right here? This was the very first thing I did for checks. And it was January the 10th, 2023. And Debbie Rigg, I can't think of her new married name, with MDAZ Studio taught me how to do this. And when I did it, when I painted it, I hated it. There was paint everywhere. It wasn't perfect. And I literally was going to throw it away, y'all. But the Holy Spirit told me to keep it. To keep it as a reminder of where I started. And so I did, and I actually wrote something up about, how we are imperfect also, and how God works on us, and how we improve and grow over time. And anyway, so the hilarious thing about it is I look at that now and it's like, that's not that bad. I mean, we are, you can, Kathy, just practice. I'm telling you, all it is practice. But we are our own worst critics. And when I go back years later and I look at that, I'm like, it's not as bad as I thought it was, that I was getting ready to throw it in the trash. So it really is just practice. Practice, practice, practice. I liken crafting and art to a sport. You know, if you want to be a professional baseball player, you can't expect to go out there on the first time you pick up a bat and be a professional. But as you practice and practice and practice and practice, you will get better. You may not be professional status, but you will get better. And that's what I have done. I've gotten better over time. I mean, you know, and some of these are still crooked. But if anybody's going to pick them up, there we go. And there we go. So there's number 2. So let me put this one. I got to find somewhere to put this one. We're going to let that one dry, making sure that my hands are clean. It gets easier and easier every time you pick the paintbrush up. And so now what I'm doing is I'm taking, I got sticky stuff on my hands. I'm taking watercolor lessons. I joined a group with Tracy Whimsical, and it's a membership group, and so I'm learning more about watercolors. So y'all are going to be seeing more stuff about watercolors from me. But it really is, it's just a matter of picking up the brush and trying something new. And a lot of it's in your what's the word I want to use? Mindset. You know, there's a saying that says if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's all a matter of how determined are you to master it. And I'm a pretty determined person. I don't give up very easily. And I have also learned to give myself grace so that if it's not perfect, you know, I look at it and I say, okay, what did I learn from this? And we just keep learning and going and growing. And before we know it, we're mountains higher than we were before. I challenge you, Kathy. I challenge you to try it because I think you have the personality that can take a challenge. I've seen you on your lives. All right, and then the hardest part right now is getting this without getting it all over me because it's still wet going around the edge here. You are talented and bright and creative, so I challenge you to pick up a paintbrush and give it a try. Try on something, you know, like a piece of cardboard or something. I agree. Sherry, you're challenging yourself right now with the journaling, and I'm telling you, anybody who saw you today would not know that that is new to you. So what are some of the things that y'all are learning? Who is learning something out of the box, outside your comfort zone? And Sherry, you can put your newest thing in there. What are some things that y'all are learning that are causing you? And it doesn't have to be a craft. It can be anything. What are some things that you're learning that is stretching you right now? And I'm going to tell y'all, these stripes are not perfect, but when you see them together, they look fine. But if you look at each one individually, you know, there's imperfections on them. That's right. See, Sherry's rooting you on too, Kathy. She's saying go for it. Now, what I would do, I did not do this, but this was a thought that the Holy Spirit gave me because I have on occasion taught how I do the checks online, and I may come back and do it again. But one of the ways that I encourage you to learn how to draw stripes, to start with stripes, is just take a ruler on a piece of cardboard draw a line on a piece of cardboard. And then take a paintbrush and use that line that you drew to try and see how close you can get to that line with your paintbrush and keep a straight line. Now, one of the biggest things that I found that most people don't take into account if you're new to painting is you have to have the right amount of paint on your brush. If your brush is dragging, you're not going to get a good stripe. And if it's got too much, it's going to kind of pool up. So what you want to do is there's a lot to having the right amount of paint on your paintbrush, and then it'll just glide. Having the right, all right, so see this right here? I'm going to have to decide, I'm going to stick them, I'm going to do 2 there. And they're a little bit closer than some of the others, but who's going to really, all right, let me put this down here. All right, and so those are done. So that was pretty quick. Gosh, y'all, it is like 3:30. 3:30. I got 30 minutes. I know what I can do if I have lots of extra time. All right, so I've got this extra paint in here. I am notorious for sticking my project on top of the paint that I have, so I'm going to throw that away and get that out of the way. And then I'm going to have this, I'm going to put this over here for now. And we're going to get this out of the way. And we're going to bring these guys in here, and we're going to dry these. And then what I want to do is I want to go around with a gold pen. All right, hang on a minute, because I want to pull this up so that I can turn this. All right, so this is another thing that I hadn't thought about it, but this is something else that I made that I did the checks on. And this is an essential stencil that I put on a rub-on transfer that I put on a thrifted. All right, let me see if I can get several of these on here. I'm trying not to touch this wet paint. It's going to be a miracle if I can get away with it. All right, we'll do 2 of them at a time. It's going to make this easier to dry. Something's going on with my shoulder. I'm not quite sure what. Now, where's the other one? Oh, here it is. Look at these little guys on here. And then we'll get some gold on there. Yes. Yes. Sherry says she's learning even though we don't have all the same gifts or artistic styles. We are all creative and should explore. I got to click I got to come up with something to do to kind of, there's like a hard beginning and end on this paper that I don't like. All right, let me get I need another something. Let's use this. I want to get this 4th one up here so we can kind of get them all dry at the same time. That was not a good place to put this. All right. Oh, how am I going to do this? Hold on. Hold, please. I have to get underneath this. There we go. All right. All right, let's continue. Thanks, Barbara. I just wasn't feeling, it was funny because I found where is it? I had like a little pick that had some evergreen on it, and I think I put it in off to somewhere else. I was going to show y'all, this is my evergreen. But when Sherry defined it and said evergreen is something that you can use all year round, I thought, well, perfect, because I'm going to do coasters today. I figured out last night what I was going to do. And I wasn't even I was thinking like evergreen, the trees. What could I do with evergreen trees? And like I said, I'm feeling flowers and umbrellas and rain, and April showers brings May flowers. All right, I gotta find my gold pen. I'm going to shake this while we're doing that. I just may finish on time. That'll be a first, y'all. But if I don't, I have a craft that I didn't get finished, and I had to wait for the holes to be drilled in my can. I started a smashed can. And I needed the holes for the wire before I could decorate it. And so I'm going to finish that today, either on or offline, depending upon what happens. And I think we're good. I love how this bicycle turned out with this Lazy Susan. I don't even want to use it. I don't want to get paint on it. I thought about putting parchment paper down, but I thought, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll just stick it on top of my desk, just kind of like for a decoration. I'm in our kitchen in the eating area. We used to eat here. Now we eat in the dining room. I've kind of taken over the bay area of the kitchen. And so there is a door right in front of me. All right, let me check this and see. It's kind of tacky. I'm hoping that it'll kind of cure. I may have to sand this a little bit and put another layer on it. All right, so I'm going to come in here. Let me get my gold pen. And we're going to put some gold on this. And I'm going to go around again. And just put like a small speck of gold on each one of these stripes. I'll show you in just a minute. I don't want to go over it twice. If I go over it twice, you have a tendency, if you go over something twice, that's when you usually mess up. So if it doesn't get a full swipe on it, I'm just letting it go. And I'm going to hold it up for you in just a minute so you can see what I'm doing. I'll go all the way around on this one. Now, you might have a better hand than I have, and you might be able to handle going over something twice. Like I did that one and shouldn't have. All right, so this is what I have. Can you see the gold? Let's see. Let me put my arm down. See the gold on there? Just a little bit of gold. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down. I'm going to come over here and we're going to do the next one. And it may end up taking me this whole time to do this. All right, I'm going to start my pen again and just kind of offload it. And I'm being consistent. You don't have to. I'm putting my gold stripe to the left of every black stripe. But you can skip. You can move around. You can put it through the middle. But I just elected, I started that, and so I'm just, you know, it's the math teacher in me, you know, patterns. Where really random is more attractive than patterns a lot of times. Okay, so we got that one done. Okay. See, I've just got, there you go, the gold on that one. We're going to put this guy down here, and then we'll dry them. Let's see if I can do this so y'all can see it. I'm just taking... And like I said, I did not start out this way. If you would have told me 3 years ago that I was going to sit and pretty much freehand this, I would have thought, well, we'll see. It's just a matter of practice. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. And I'll tell you, talking from experience, you can watch all the videos you want, but until you put a paintbrush in your hand, you're not going to get beyond where you are now until you do. I say that in an encouraging way. Even as a little girl, I used to watch like This Old House and Nancy Sews and what are some of the other shows? You know, all those do-it-yourself shows. I love those shows, but I didn't always put it into practice. All right, here we go. And then this is this little guy here. I'm trying to decide if I want to crackle these or not. There's a part of me that wants to, and there's a part of me that doesn't. I've got to do something on here. I'm open for suggestions. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Watching you and doing, oh, a diamond art. Oh, cool. Multitasking. Thanks, thanks, Karen. You know, some of it is having the right supplies and the right tools, but some of it is just, you know, just diving in and doing it. My husband is an engineer, and I'm going to tell you, he is like MacGyver. He blows me out of the water when it comes to creativity. I can tell him growing up, we homeschooled the boys, and as they were growing up, and I could tell him, I need something that will do this, 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 and that. And I kid you not, he would find cardboard and he could turn it into exactly what I wanted. Well, he made a huge spinner. It was probably 4 feet by 4 feet from a cardboard box that he put together. And so he's pretty remarkable with stuff like that. My nephews, who are the first grandchildren on my side of the family from my sister, they nicknamed him MacGyver at an early age because, you know, they grew up in the they're like 45 and almost 50 now. And so they grew up in that MacGyver era. See, this is what we have. Y'all can do this. And what you do is you practice on things that aren't going to matter, like cardboard. Cardboard is great for practicing. Get a, you know, prime your cardboard with, you know, just some white chalk paint. Draw a line or draw several lines, and y'all can do this. All right, so let me get this dry. I think we're done with that for now. So what do y'all think? Should I crackle this? Give me hearts if you think I should crackle it. I've got a fine line crackle. There's a part of me that really wants to do it. All right, this is what we have, y'all. Let me show you. See how you can see the paper? I don't like that. I could maybe do like a wax. So this is what this one looks like. See the sides? Hearts. I got one heart for crackle. Should we go for it? Hey, Rose. All right, this is guy number 3. I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna just go for it. Let's do it. That's gonna take a little bit longer, but I've got the time. All right, let me get this out of the way. See, this is, I told y'all, this is an essential stencil rub-on transfer. Thanks, Melanie. They're nice. They actually come in a set of 6, but I decided to only do 4 of them. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna crackle. I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna, maybe. There it goes. All right, so what we're gonna do, let's do it. I'm gonna take, this is a Pent Art. I hope I can do this over this, Mod Podge. All right, here we go. Going for it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? You can go right over your project with this crackle medium. This is Pent Art. All right, there's one. Stick it up there. We're going to dry it. It takes about 5 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes to dry. Now, the other thing too, if you pay attention to the way that I am painting, I'm painting off the edge. And that way I don't scoop the paint on the edge and then it runs down the side. So I always paint off of the edge. Okay, and then this will dry, and then we'll put a second layer on here. Oh, I need something to put this on. All right, I'm gonna stick that one over here. We're gonna do all 4 of these. I had also thought about doing like a UV resin on these, but I need something that's gonna maybe break up that look, and I hope this does it, because this puts like a hard coating on it. All right, and then one more. This little guy reminds me of Toy Story, Woody, even though Woody doesn't have red hair. Give him a cowboy hat and he'll look just like him. All right, I have to pull my, I'm gonna put that one there. All right, so this goes in the water. All right, let's bring this back up here so that we can kind of hit all of these at the same time. 2. All right, this one's got to go over here because I'm going to use the next one. And we're going to put this one over here. And let me get one more thing of paint. And we're going to start drying these. Okay? We'll just take advantage of this lazy Susan here. And then what I'm going to do is after I put the fine line, the second component, this has got two components to it. It's got like an Elmer's glue component, and then after that, it has a, I call it honey. It kind of looks like honey, runny honey. And then you'll get fine line crackles in it, and then I'll take some gold building wax, and that will fill in the grooves. So we'll see where it goes. That was kind of like my original plan, so I guess I'm going to stick to that. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to dry this until, thanks Rose. I'm going to dry this until it's clear. And then when it's clear, that's when I will put the second component on it. There's something right here that needs to come out. Whoops, it needs to come out of this. I'm going to grab a pair of tweezers. It's got like a piece of hair or something. There it is. Now, I will say that this year, the Holy Spirit has told me that I am to give away projects that I make. And so if anybody wants these 4 coasters, they're yours. All you have to do is pay for shipping. And it'll probably be about $5 for shipping. So if there is someone who wants these, you can message me. Message me if you're have a business page. You have to message me from your personal page. Because business to business won't go through in Messenger. But these are up for grabs if anybody wants them. I'm guessing because they're so light and they're so small, you know, it'll be $5 or $6 for shipping, and they're yours. I have been giving away my finished products to assisted living places. I don't have the mobility to get out and do craft shows and things like that. So I have a lot of crafts that are just accumulating, and the Lord gave me the idea to go to assisted living places and just bless the people there. And oh my gosh, I could not have had more joy seeing how excited everybody was. Just waiting for these to dry. Waiting for the cloudiness to turn to clear. So if somebody does decide that they want these, the first person to get to me, I'll have to have your address to give you the shipping cost. And if you decide that you don't like the amount of the shipping, you can decline it and I'll go to the next person. This is my blessing to all the people that are watching me this year. Now, I want to remind y'all that after me, Linda with Carolyn Creations by Linda is going to be up. Okay, that feels pretty dry. This guy looks the driest. And I think I have some cork that I can put on the bottoms of these. I'll have to look and see. I can't promise that. Aren't these little guys so cute? Have to be careful not to get the heat gun too close to it. All right, let's see what we got. This one looks like it's still not quite dry. I'm going to put that one off to the side and this one off to the side. They're not quite dry, but I want to get in here and show you what this is going to look like. So I need to get rolling. I use my cheap, for stuff like this, I use my cheap Dollar Tree brushes. All right, and then this is the second component. It's kind of like a gloss, and this will give this a hard finish. Just putting it right on top. That's what I like about this particular crackle medium, is that you can go right over top of your project and it'll actually give like a hard surface. All right, let me put this down here, and we're gonna finish these two here. All right, here we go. And I'll do this until it cracks. Move this over. Hey Mary, good to see you. I've got 5 minutes. I just want to make sure that everybody remembers that the event for today is going until through 10 o'clock tonight. The last crafter will be at 9 o'clock. Carolyn Creations by Linda is at 4. Lindell's Craft Escape is at 5. Craftifornia Dreamin' with Raven is at 6. Barbara's Blessed Black Beginnings is at 7. And Quality Crafts by Kathy at 8. And then Petra, who is new to the group, welcome Petra. Soul Craft by Petra. She will be on from 9 to 10. So I encourage y'all to hang in there today and pop in on each of the crafters. Give them a follow. That helps with their pages. Helps with my page too. We'd love for you to join the Grace Creations page. Also inspired by Grace. Our host is and creator of the group is Sherry Gibbons. All right, let's see what we got. No cracks yet, but it'll get there. I've still got 3 minutes. Who do I buy it from? I believe Linda with Carolyn Creations by Linda. I think she sells it. This is not where I got it from, but I think she sells it. So check with her. I remember hearing on one of her events that she sells it. If I buy it, when I buy it the next time, I'm going to buy it from her. This is my favorite. I really like this particular. Okay, it's starting to crack. There is an element to the heat that makes a difference. You could like brush this on and let it sit for hours and then come back and brush it on. But I found that if you heat it, you get more cracks. I don't know why. So you can kind of control. All right, this is starting to crack. You can control if you have wide cracks or smaller cracks. The more heat I put on this, the more cracks I'm going to get. All right, I've got 2 minutes, and I'm going to pull out. This side's not cracking as much as the other. All right, I'm going to stick with this one because this one is cracking. All right, real quick, I want to show you this so that y'all will know how to use it. I'm going to grab my gilding wax, and I just use a cheap paintbrush. See if I can find my cheap paintbrush. You can do it with your finger, but I don't. I just use a really, really cheap. This one is smaller than I would normally use. But just come here, and I'm going to offload this. And I'm going to just go over this. Maybe I'm going to try going around this little guy and not over this little guy, and maybe that will help make the difference. That might be what I need to do. I'm going to just go around him. All right. And see what that does. And then I'm going to wipe this off. Oops. And then you take, and you're going to just take, and you're going to rub this off of here. Oh, I think I like this. That's what I'm going to do. That's going to make up for the difference. And I'm going to show you all these. Kind of makes him stand out a little bit more. All right, so this is what we have. And then he just kind of stands out, kind of big and bold around that. All right, I am done. My time is up. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me. And if anybody wants these, just message me, and I'll be happy to ship them to you. All right, I love you. Jesus loves you more. And have a great night. Bye, y'all.